talk to you about what not to say to yourself and read you from 1 Samuel chapter 27, verse 1, where we read this. And David said in his heart, now I shall perish someday by the hand of Saul. There is nothing better for me than I should speedily escape to the land of the Philistines, and Saul will despair of me to seek me any more in any part of Israel, so I shall escape out of his hand. The sad story of 1 Samuel chapter 27 begins with something David said in his heart. Maybe he never said it out loud. He might have never said it to anyone else. He may have never even said it to God, but he said it in his heart. What we say in our heart has a tremendous power to shape our thinking, our actions, even our whole destiny. This is what David said in his heart. Now I shall perish someday by the hand of Saul. That was a word of discouragement coming from a heart tired of trusting God for continued deliverance. For many years, Saul chased David, that shepherd boy who killed a giant and then lived under the pressure of a government conspiracy to kill him. In his discouragement, David forgot God's past deliverance. Charles Spurgeon, the great preacher of Victorian England, spoke about a time when he forgot the goodness of God. This is what he said, quote, I remember on one occasion, to my shame, being sad and doubtful of heart, and a kind friend took out a paper and read to me a short extract from a discourse upon faith. I very soon detected the author of the extract. My friend was reading to me from one of my own sermons. Without saying a word, he just left it to my own conscience, for he had convicted me of committing the very fault against which I had so earnestly preached. In his discouragement, David told himself, there's nothing better for me than I should speedily escape to the land of the Philistines. David decided to leave Israel and live among the idol-worshiping Philistines. David was so depressed that he thought that there was nothing better for him in Israel and among God's people. Then he said, Saul will despair of me to seek me any more in any part of Israel, so I shall escape out of his hand. Before, David had trusted in the Lord to protect him from the hand of Saul. Now, David gave up trusting in the Lord, and instead he left the land of promise, he left the people of God, and hoped to find protection among the Philistines. He hoped that Saul will despair. But Saul would not despair if David left the land of promise. Saul would not despair if David forsook the people of God and joined the ungodly. It was David who was in despair, not Saul. With all he did against David, Saul could never drive David to the Philistines. If Saul told David, you must leave the people of God and go live among the Philistines, David would never bow to that. But discouragement and despair were more powerful enemies than even King Saul was. Discouragement and despair drove David to do something that Saul could never make him do. Everyone faces discouragement and despair from time to time, but we never have to let them drive us. For a season, David did, and it didn't turn out very well. Remember that in Jesus Christ, you have many reasons to be encouraged. So look to him today.